some white girls cannot fathom that a girl who's not white can be considered prettier than them.
Not only prettier, but smarter and a better athlete. I met my best friend in high school the summer before, so in 8th grade, going into freshman year. We met at volleyball camp, and we ended up playing volleyball together freshman year. And then sophomore year, I left volleyball and I stuck with basketball and track, and she stayed with volleyball. But we were still really good friends, even though we had different sports seasons. And my senior year, or our senior year, she was driving me home because she told me that she needed to talk to me. And before we got to my house, she pulled over like in my subdivision and was like, I can't hang out with you anymore. My mom says that you're a bad influence. And I was like, excuse me?
Oh, no, they know. They know you're prettier than them. They know you're very, very pretty. And they know that all things considered, if you could measure these things by rubric, that you would be prettier than them. But the benefit of white supremacy, of adhering to white supremacy, and you've probably noticed this, you know, if you're the kind of person who pays attention to these kinds of patterns, is that you don't have to live like anything is true that you don't acknowledge. It doesn't matter that you know it. It doesn't matter that you see it. It doesn't matter that you heard it. It doesn't matter that you feel it. As long as you don't acknowledge it, as long as you don't admit to it, you can always live like it's not true and find people who will do the same.
Hi guys, welcome back. My name is Robbie Masaga. Today I'm diving into a topic that stirs a lot of emotions, beauty standards and how they intersect with race. I came across a statement made by a black girl when she said that white women can't fathom the fact that black women can also be prettier than them. I think this comes from the way the society has pulled certain beauty standards for a long time, and these standards never include black girls. So I totally understand that statement, but from what I know is every woman is beautiful in their own way, just that we don't like appreciating each other, and some women don't even like appreciating themselves. And I'm going to explain why. But first, I want to share a few videos that I've compiled for you guys. Then let me know in the comment section what your thoughts are about this particular topic. And remember to subscribe, like, and also share this video.
I think some white girls cannot fathom that a girl who's not white can be considered prettier than them.
Okay, so a couple of years ago, I was in Italy for my 27th birthday. I was staying in Amalfi Coast in Sorrento. I was staying in a hostel, and if you've ever stayed in a hostel before, you know the community is tight and it's very easy to meet friends. I was staying in an all-female dorm. It was my last night there, and there were some ladies who were like, hey, we're gonna go out if anybody wants to join us. And I was like, let me go ahead and get up. I've been going out every single night while I was there, and I was like, let's go one more night before I head back to Pompeii and to Rome. So I tell the girls who were like corralling everyone together, like, hey, I would love to come. And they're like, awesome, we're going to get ready and leave in about 30 minutes. I said, perfect. So I quickly do my makeup and I quickly put on this dress that I call like my freakum dress of the summer. It's now October, but I wore this dress all summer in Chicago, and the results every time I wear this dress is like crazy. The men be falling to their knees. So I put on this dress and all the girlies in the room are eating me up. They're like, oh my God, we love your dress. Your body. Like, you look so good. Like, all the girlies from all walks of life, right? We got all the girls from Europe, Southeast Asia, Latin America. Like, everybody's in the room and they all are wooing over me, rightfully so. We love girls that support girls. This is where it gets interesting. The two girls that corralled us all together, I watch a lot of Real Housewives, so I can peep group dynamics. I can peep Mean Girl from a mile away. And as we are getting dressed, like, I see the two girls kind of like shooting eyeballs at me, like, what? And to paint the picture about them, they're both American. One was blonde, like blonde hair, blue eyes, like Western beauty standard, right? And then her friend was a brunette, And their dynamic was very interesting, especially as we were getting dressed. Like, the blonde was definitely like queen bee, what I say go, you feed my ego. Like, that is the only reason why I keep you around. And the brunette complied, right? So I get dressed, I'm standing in the body length mirror, there's only one in the room, and I see the brunette like come over. She gives me like one of these smiles. First we were talking, but now all of a sudden it's a smile, and I was like, oh, this energy's a little off. And she looks at her outfit and she looks at the blonde girl and she goes, I just don't feel like confident in my outfit. I feel very underdressed. And what she and the blonde girl were wearing is what I call the basic special. And I partake in the basic special. It's mom jeans and a crop top. I love a mom jean and a crop top. I'm not calling you basic. I'm just saying it's a basic special. It's very good outfit. It always looks good. But on the Amalfi Coast, in Italy, I was literally on a yacht the day before. Like, I'm wearing my best in Italy. There's, and then also, like, if you've been to Europe, the girlies there are dressed to the nines all times. It doesn't matter what time of day it is. You go to the grocery store, the girlies are dressed up. So that's just how it is. But old girl, the brunette, was feeling like very insecure. And you could see them looking at me, especially as I was getting all of these compliments in the room. They were giving me death stares. And then the blonde looks at me as she's talking, as she's like responding to the brunette when she says, oh, I just don't feel confident in my outfit. I feel like it's basic. And she's like, we're wearing the exact same thing. Get over it. You don't need to show your body off to look good. And I said, does she just slut shame me a little bit? Like, I thought we were friends. I thought we were doing good. Again, a couple of minutes ago, I was in my bed. I had my bonnet on. I did not have an ounce of makeup. I still look good. But really did not think they thought I could look as good as I put my look together. Like, the mean girl energy that came off her when she said that, I was perplexed. And then she tells the brunette, like, are you ready to go? Like, let's go. And they get up and they walk out the room. And I was like, I thought we were going together, because it was just those two and me that were going out. And once the door closes, everyone in the room is like, what the fuck was that? And I was like, I don't know. And of course they're all hyping me up. They're like, no, you look great. Your body looks fucking good. You don't look like scandalous. It's a sexy dress for sure. But they all said, we're in Europe. Like, I said, thank you. And they obviously started to go down the route of like, they're definitely jealous. And I was like, okay, like, are y'all peeping that? They're like, yes, that's what that was. I was like, okay, I would make sure. Oh, that whole situation, I have a few other stories, definitely where that's happened, especially in a hostel setting. I did end up going out by myself. I had a great time. And I called my mom and explained it to her. And she was just like, you know, there are some girls who, like, the beauty standard, they know they're on a pedestal, and the fact that I was in the room and getting praises, and also I am pretty. I'm not saying I was prettier than them, but I looked really good. I don't think they could compute. Like, it was threatening their sense of self and identity and everything that's been spoon-fed to them. So, I don't know. It was crazy.
I just wanted to pop in on and add an experience I've had that's really close to what she's saying. I had a best friend in the sophomore year of high school who was white. Low-key my first mistake. And it was really obvious that, you know, she pulled a lot. She thought very highly of herself. And I'm not even gonna lie, she was pretty. I live in a primarily white area, and I go here as a Pakistani hijabi, who on top of that dresses alternatively. I know I'm not in the getup right now, but not exactly, you know, I'm not exactly this area's ideal type. It was the beginning of sophomore year, and one of my guy friends introduced me to another one of his friends that we had class with. And we all had the same lunch period, so we all decided to get a table together during our lunch period. So, you know, it was us two girls and those two guys. And normally, honestly, I usually don't like sitting with guys, or like I don't like to be alone with guys, you know. But I had known the guy that introduced me to him, I was really tight with him, and I was like, you know what, I have class with them, so, you know, I might as well be a little friendly. The guy he introduced me to was actually my chemistry partner. He was actually really polite, really nice upon meeting us. A lot more than, honestly, other guys in my area are. And as time went on, you know, we would tease each other, be friendly, you know, the shit you do with people when you're friends. And I think one time I was walking with her after school, and I mentioned, I was like, you know, I have a feeling that he might kind of like me. For context, I live in a primarily white area. Men treat me like shit. And I know that it's like, oh, just because a guy's being nice to you doesn't mean he wants you. But for me, you know, it's a really odd experience that someone would be this nice to me or this friendly to me. He was actually the one who told my original guy friend to invite me to lunch because I used to sit alone. And when she heard this, that I said that, oh, I think he might like me, she was flabbergasted. Not only flabbergasted, she was almost offended by the idea that someone could like me. Because I guess she had been so obviously used to being the one that pulls in our friendship. And she switched up. She was like, what are you talking about? No, he definitely, like, he's always flirting with me. Like, what are you talking about? And I'm not the most confident person. I was like, oh, yeah, you're right. Sorry. Also, like, it became really obvious that she definitely liked him, even though she had a boyfriend. It's not whether he liked me or not that was the principle here, you know? The main issue was her reaction. That's something I've never forgotten. I wasn't even interested in him. I was just low-key, like, excited because, oh, a guy in real life thinks I'm pretty? That has never happened to me. And eventually, I actually became closer friends with him, and I actually found out, like, I'm way closer to his type than she actually was. And he's even told me verbatim that out of my whole friend group, I was the prettiest. Which is low-key crazy to say, but hey, that's meant for you. I have no idea to this day if he liked me or not. And honestly, I don't care. He was a cool friend. I guess we're not really friends anymore for unrelated reasons. But what forever sticks with me is her reaction. White women are so used to being able to get whatever they want, you know? She has even said to my face, word for word, that, oh, if I want a guy, I can get him. If I want someone, I can get him. And I guess it failed her in that case, and it didn't work out. And in this case, I guess a white guy chose a brown Muslim girl over her. She was offended. So yeah, I don't think she's a bad person or maybe inherently racist, but it is definitely like the first thing I thought of when I saw this topic.
First moved to the US, I started a graduate program, and within our program there was this white girl that knew a person from my country. She was dating him, and she told him, hey, a person from your country is in our department. And he's like, I know, that pretty girl. And that was the end of me, because that caused me, I didn't know all this happened. I just knew she hated me, and she was kind of like dropping all these mean comments in the program for different reasons, including her being intimidated, became so abusive that I had to leave it in a year. But I just wanted to say that, like, the beauty of women of color could really intimidate some white women. Of course, it's not all of them, but it happens.
I have a meeting in like 15 minutes, so I'm gonna make this quick. But basically, yesterday I went to Safeway to get my mom some flowers for Mother's Day, and they had like this little station where this lady was like, you know, wrapping up the flower bouquets, making them like cute and stuff. And my dad was throwing a barbecue, so I was like picking up corn, so I was like in the produce section, and then I went to the flowers, and the whole time there was like this white lady who had to have been like in her 30s maybe, I don't know what she was, but she kept staring at me like up and down, like giving me dirty looks, like it was so obvious to the point where I was uncomfortable. And I kind of just brushed it off. I'm like, okay, like maybe I just look good, I don't know, I know I look good. This is literally what I was wearing, right? Like just some yoga pants, jacket, whatever the fuck. So then I'm in line waiting for my bouquet to be made. I had like 3 bunches of like lilies, and I'm just like standing in line, minding my business on my phone. And she's in front of me, and her boyfriend's there. And her boyfriend's like this like skinny like Latino guy, right? And they're both just sitting there, and mind you, like, no offense to them, but they're not like, they weren't like an attractive couple. Like, if that makes sense. Like, I'm not trying to be mean at all. But basically the entire time in the line, this bitch keeps looking at me, like back and forth. Like I'm just literally on my phone, I'll catch her like looking at me. And like, you know when you can tell someone's looking at you like through your like rear view, blind side, whatever the fuck. So I'm looking at my phone and she's staring at me for like 15 seconds. I'm just on my phone and then I finally look up and then she looks at me, rolls her eyes and looks away. And I was like, bitch, what the fuck is your problem? And then like multiple times, like even when I was getting corn, even when I was getting like my flowers, she would like be near me and then she would start aggressively making out with her boyfriend while like looking at me. Like she would look at me, then like grab her boyfriend, like bring him in and like start making out with him. And it wasn't like a cute little kiss. Like I'm not a big PDA person, either is my boyfriend, so we don't really make out in public unless we're like fucking blacked out. But like it was like tongue. I heard everything and I was like, there's hella people at Safeway, it's Mother's Day, people are getting last minute flowers, like people were even looking, they're like, what the fuck is wrong with her? But yeah, I just thought that was so fucking weird. And it's like her boyfriend, like I didn't even see him looking at me, like he didn't try to talk to me, like I don't even think he noticed that I was there. So it was like she was just projecting her insecurity for no reason, because there was like if he had tried to talk to me or something, then like I would like kind of understand, like okay, maybe she's like insecure, whatever the fuck. But mind you, I'm in that bitch, like no makeup, my hair was like in a fucking bun, I was looking like this, and she was just like, I don't know, she just gave off like the weirdest energy. And it's like, your boyfriend couldn't even get my name, let alone my number, out of me. Like you're so safe, you're safe. But yeah, this video reminded me of that, because I don't know, she was ugly, let's just be honest. Like she wasn't cute, he wasn't cute. So I was like, what part of you thought that anything would happen? Like I'm happy for you, girl, like I got a boyfriend too. Like it was just weird.
All these women are right, and I do understand why they've come out saying whatever that they've said. For years we've seen how a black woman has been treated, and not just a black woman, let me just say people of color. We've seen how people of color have been discriminated just because of their, skin color. And I've never understood why people don't like this color. I just don't know why, because we have so many people. Actually, everyone is beautiful in their own way. So I don't know why people discriminate this color. I don't understand why. And the reason why I say people and not white people discriminating black people, it's because even black people discriminate each other because of color. And that is why we see that nowadays majority of black people, they opt to lighten up their skin tone just because of how they are treated. You go at work, you're being discriminated just because of how you look. You go looking for employment, they don't give you any job because you're dark, and they want more lighter women. And these are fellow black people discriminating each other. Why is that the case? Just because of skin color? In Africa, a woman with a more lighter skin tone will get many opportunities compared to a woman with a darker complexion. And I've never understood why. You go looking for, job opportunities, that woman who is lighter will get that job, and that woman who is a bit darker will miss it just because of her skin color, just because of her skin tone. This is the mentality that we have. And it's not just white people. We blame this on white people, but let me tell you, even black people have the same problem, because we see the same thing happens here in Africa. A lot of women have missed opportunities, very intelligent women who are capable of doing, any kind of jobs. They miss those jobs, but, you find that women who are incompetent are the ones being employed just because of how they look. Because we measure beauty with how lighter someone is. That is how we measure beauty. And that is why we have so many incompetent people employed. And those people who are capable of doing the same job, who are very, competent, they don't get those opportunities. And that is why majority of African people nowadays, what they do is lighten up their skin, to match those standards. And I do blame this entirely on men. Let me just explain why. Like I said, in Africa, majority of women nowadays, they would rather, lighten up their skin to match those standards. And this is because they want to please men out there. And let me tell you, one thing that people don't know is a man will, yes, he's going to be attracted with your beauty and everything. He will want to be with you. But at the end of the day, if a man wants to marry, he will never marry a woman just because of her beauty. A man is going to marry someone because of her morals, her characters. That is one thing that women forget. That is one thing that people forget. Men don't marry because of beauty. They will marry according to how you carry yourself. You might be lighter, but that man won't fall for you. Yes, he's going to fall for you. He's going to lie to you. The moment he gets whatever that he gets from you, he will run and go looking for that woman who can be a mother, can be a wife. And people are messing up their bodies just because they want to impress men. We are here blaming this entirely on white people, but we forget that even our own, they discriminate others just because of how they look. Nowadays, even men lighten up their skin to match those beauty standards. Why is that the case? Why do we have that mentality that only white people are beautiful? You think being dark is ugly? It's what we want to believe. But that is not the case. Even black people are beautiful. Everyone is beautiful in their own way. People need to start appreciating themselves. Appreciate your sister, appreciate your brother, appreciate anyone out there, how they are, how they look. Stop discriminating each other just because of color. You are discriminating, that person you're discriminating today, you never know what that person can do how that person can change your life. You don't know, but just because they don't look like you, you start discriminating them. You think that only white people are more beautiful. Our men nowadays don't want to marry black women just because they think white women are more beautiful than black women. Then they start saying that black women are not submissive. No, it's because we want to measure beauty with how lighter someone is. Beauty starts from within you, how morally upright you are. If you're corrupted morally, then clearly you're not even beautiful even from outside. And majority of people have found themselves with wrong relationships just because what they look for is, the outer beauty. We don't care about what is inside of that person. We don't care how morally that person is. We don't care whether that person is morally upright or not. We don't care anymore. All we care about is beauty. How beautiful we look from outside. Those are the people that we want in our life, so that we can walk with them out there. We can brag how beautiful we've found, how beautiful our partners are. That is what majority of us want. Even our African women nowadays, they don't want to marry African men. They want to marry these men because to them that is the beauty they want. And if you look around, nowadays majority of relationships don't last. Because that is how we measure beauty. We measure beauty with how someone is lighter in complexion. We don't even want to, learn someone first, get to know them better. As long as she's beautiful from outside, that is what we want. At workplaces, these white women, they feel superior. Yeah, they want to discriminate anyone who is darker in complexion just because they feel like, because I'm white, I'm beautiful. And that is why this lady said whatever she said, because white women want to discriminate black women just because they feel superior. Because of color. All this is because of color. Nothing else. We need to start appreciating each other. Appreciate your brother. Appreciate your sister. Appreciate everyone out there, how they are, how they look. Yeah, let me know guys what you think about this particular topic on the comment section. Do you agree with me or do you disagree? Let me know on the comment section. Remember to subscribe, like, and also share this video. And until next time,